Hey, good morning, River Center family. Here's our devotional for today. When I was a kid, we lived in a little town called Valsets, which is about 2 hours west in the Coast Range. And I would say at least 1 weekend a month, and sometimes twice a month, we would make the trek down to the Alpine Monroe area where both sets of grandparents lived. And one particular set of grandparents, the Dodsons, is kind of be where everybody would congregate on my mom's side. And at times there would be 7 to 10 cousins all in one place at one time. I'm sorry about the noise out here. I wanted to do it outside, but then a fellow started up his lawnmower, so hopefully you can still hear me. There were be 7 to 10 cousins running around the place, in the field and in the house and in and out, and doors slamming and bees coming in and flies going in and out. And it was an awesome time to have those memories. I was just thinking about that this morning. But so you had all these cousins running around, all about the same age. And every once in a while you'd hear Granny Opal's high, sort of screechy voice say, "Here now, settle down." And it would get a little quieter for a little while. But then pretty soon the noise would start ramping up again. And then it was pretty much out of control for a little while. And then at some point we would hear Granddad Dodson, his voice, and he would say, "Here, be still." And as it says in Genesis, and so it was. And so it was. And it was still because Granddad had spoken and we all heard. And so it was really calm and quiet, but he had to use the words, "Be still." And as we started this book, Emotional Healthy Spirituality, this day-by-day process, one of the things that the author encourages is a couple times a day, just take 2 minutes to be still and let all the cares and all the thoughts and everything just kind of dissipate, all the running in and out and the slamming of the doors and all that sort of thing, and just let it all sort of go away so that we can be still and know that He's God. In Psalm 46, the whole chapter, it says in verse 1, He's our present help in time of need. And then verse 5, it said God is in our midst. And in these verses, in this chapter, it's talking about oceans raging and mountains falling and all kinds of things happening. It's kind of a chaotic time. But in verse 10, it says, "Be still." In the midst of all of that, be still and know that I am God. Verse 11, be still and know that God is with us. We live in a day and age right now where, we would think technology would make our lives easier, but really what it's done is that it's in some ways it's really ramped up our anxiety, I think, with, I got to check my text, I got to answer my phone, I got to check my email, all that sort of stuff. And I think it's done a disservice. And when we did the Practicing the Way, a big part of it was on meditation, calming down, being still. And so that's what we're talking about here, is that if our emotions are ramped way up, we're not going to be able to hear God. It says a man without the Spirit, in Paul wrote to the Corinthians, a man without the Spirit cannot make spiritual decisions, won't have spiritual discernment. So if our life is primarily a soulish experience, when we're just interacting with this world around us and trying to manage it, it's not going to go well in the spiritual realm. In Isaiah chapter 30, verse 15, it says, there's a promise there, if we'll receive it. It says, in quietness and in confidence or trust, you'll find your strength. You'll be your strength. In quietness and trust will be your strength. But then it says, but you would not. We don't want to be in the would not category. We want to be in the people that in that quietness, yes, and trusting Him, because we know that we've been still, we've calmed our spirits, calmed our hearts, told our soul to calm down, that we know that He is God and He's in the midst. And we have a promise that in quietness and trust, we'll find our strength. All right? Amen. God bless. See you soon.